Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and you are all very, very welcome to celebrate these two youngsters over here. What's his name? Oh, Dan Sadler, yeah, and Tommy McCann. Now, I've written down a few notes here, and I have to refer to them because I have a head like a sieve. Anyway, and there's no light here. Anyway. Tommy, yes. Now these two men have served the music scene in Wexford for a total of approximately 140 years between them. Whoa! These two talented and eager young men first played together in the mid-50s with a band called The Crystals, and that was led by none other than Mrs. Elsie Lawler, the mother of the band The Lawlers that we all know. Now, the late great Supremo, Johnny Rick, beckoned, and the two boys, at different times now, they didn't perform together with Johnny Rick, continued their musical journeys with the legendary Mr. Rick. Their paths parted, and Don went on to play with the Luxembourg show band under the baton of the maestro himself, Mr. Joe Lowney. He was later to go professional with the Supreme Seven, one of Wexford's most acclaimed bands. After the band finished, Don departed for England. Tommy, meanwhile, had already begun to play had a very successful association with another troubadour, the multi-talented. What happened there, lads? Bill Dial hit plug. Now we're back. Unfortunately, says you. Anyway, where was I now? What was the last thing I said? Can anyone remember? Oh, and Don departed for England. Yes, okay. Tommy, meanwhile, had begun a long and successful association with another troubadour. The man of the moment at the time was, and renowned was, Mr. Dick Whitley. In Essex, Don fell in with the Pete Corrigan Band and later formed his own band and went on to play with world-famous Harry Gold and Jeff Love. Jeff Love's orchestra, as you probably will remember, was one of the featured orchestras on ITV in the 70s and 80s. After 20 years anyway, Don returned to Wexford. Tommy was as busy as ever with Dick and the Andes, and their Sunday morning jazz session in the Talbot Hotel was always a sellout, and yeah, and where was it? Can't really be right. It was always a sellout for many years. Yes, and was part of the folklore of the Wexford music setup, the Andes, of a Sunday morning in the Talbot Hotel. What used to really strike me, because I was very keen to go there every Sunday morning, Tommy on the drums with a side drum, a hi-hat, a bass drum, and a floor tom-tom. What he could knock out of those drums was absolutely fantastic. His rhythms were fabulous. Well done, Tom. Tommy, yes, that was it. Okay. Don was quick to form another band when he arrived home, a band called Old Spice, and they went on to have residencies in Kelly's Hotel and in Mount Juliet, and the band included the late great Jack Roach, the drummer, and John Lappin. This band was followed by Tequila, which specialised in weddings to great demand. Next, the two youngsters joined together, and they formed Bourbon Street. With Ger Griffin and Ger's son, and who was the other guy? Who? Oh, Gary! There you are, Gary. Sorry, I can't read this. I can't see it. And then I've a gammy ankle as well, for God's sake. Anyway, our Sunday afternoons down in Mary Barry's became legendary and was the highlight of everybody's weekend. Listen, I'm not very good at this kind of stuff, as you can actually see. But however, you're very welcome, lads, and you're legends in your own lifetimes. Could I have a round of applause, please, for Sadler and Tommy McCann?